The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Here's what we're doing. One is we have arrest warrants out for all of them. If there are some in Texas, which I understand that there may be, the Texas Department of Public Safety is searching for them. We'll find them and we'll arrest them and take them to the Texas Capitol. Those who are out of state think that they are beyond the reach of Texas law enforcement, and that they may or may not be. But for one, when they come back, they're not going to go to their cozy home. They will be arrested and taken to the Capitol. But know this, it's my understanding that the FBI is going to search for these derelict Texas House members in whatever state they may be in and help identify for them and maybe work with us to bring them back. Point one. Point two is these Democrats, they have received money and benefits at their request to support them while they are gone. It is a direct violation of the Texas Constitution as well as Texas bribery laws for them to receive a benefit to skip a vote. They could be charged with second-degree felony for committing bribery in the state of Texas. Third, and it happened yesterday, I filed a petition in the Texas Supreme Court that begins the removal process of these absconding Democrat members. And the Supreme Court responded immediately last night and told the leading Democrat in this cause, his name is Gene Wu, that he has to respond to my petition by Friday, where we're going to begin the process of trying to remove these absconding Democrats from office.
That, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the governor of Texas, Governor Abbott. Welcome, my friends, to the Thursday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. I have a cold. And in case, I hope it's one of these 24-hour dealies or less, but if the voice sounds a little strange to you today, it's because I do have a cold. So, it is still the fastest hour in American media, and so much is happening. Texas is, of course, still front and center in the news, but there are so many other stories that we want to get to. President signed some executive orders. We will hopefully get a chance to discuss as many of them. There's one among them that could change the ball game politically in this country for generations to come. Also, news that can change the prosperity of America. Staggering U.S. tariffs begin as Trump widens trade war. That is from the New York Times. Of course, no fan of Donald Trump. They begin their article today by saying President Trump's punishing new tariffs on about 90 countries snapped into place on Thursday, sending foreign leaders in some of the hardest-hit economies scrambling to contain the damage. And they're also scrambling to try to get Washington, D.C., well, they're trying to get Donald Trump to ease up. Few American trading partners, allies, were spared. And they say the president's levies, which are expected to drive up prices for American consumers, have spooked many businesses around the world. But the stock market remains, this is me, not the New York Times, kind of nonplussed about it all. Around the world, however, the mood proved dour. It is a dour mood around the world. Switzerland has a 39% tariff. They have labored unsuccessfully to persuade the White House to reduce that number. In the United States, some quote-unquote experts, and every time I see the word experts, I wonder who these people are. Because the so-called experts are wrong about, at least the experts cited in a lot of mainstream media news seem to be wrong about the area of their expertise. In the United States, some experts reprised their concerns that these moves might soon unleash new economic shocks. In recent weeks, says the New York Times, prices have started to climb. Now, okay, what would you take it from that? Prices have already started to climb. Why? You see, later on in the article, the New York Times goes on to say, in general, the new round of duties does not apply to foreign goods that had been loaded on ships before August 7th, before today. So if there are ships right now at sea carrying products, those products might reach here before even October. And they're not going to be hit with these new tariffs. That will be later in the year before we really start to see. So this idea that prices are already climbing? Canada, on goods not covered by the U.S. Mexico-Canada trade agreement, there's now a 35% tariff on those goods that were not covered. So, and there are still, of course, no negotiations going on with China. I'm interested to see what happens with India because they have a whopping tariff on them. Now, keep in mind, the New York Times opens by saying this is punishing Donald Trump. Bad, by implication, punishing people. American manufacturers can't sell much in India. So I don't know whether this is, why not use the word rebalance or reform existing trade rather than punishing tariffs? Is it punishing that Americans can't sell their products? Meanwhile, I just saw a headline, so let me just deal with this right now. Did you hear about the latest? Raid out, the ICE raid in LA? What happened, ladies and gentlemen? It was at a Home Depot, unsurprisingly, but a big box truck pulls in. You know, like the kind of trucks that deliver appliances, whatever. It was a Penske truck rental. And so they spring open the doors of the Penske rental truck, and out pops ICE agents, one after another. And of course, the scattering began. Kind of like, when some people turn on the lights, you go, have you ever, been in a house or a place, apartment? Sometimes it's beyond your control. It is. It happens. You ever turn on the lights and then see critters starting to just like vanish? Like, oh no, the lights are on. Well, anyway. Yes. The DHS made multiple arrests in Los Angeles. That was yesterday near the city's MacArthur Park. Agents bursting from the back of a Penske moving truck before running toward a group of people near a sidewalk food stand, etc., etc. Well, now Penske Truck Rental, the company, has issued a statement warning the DHS that it is going to reach out and they want to have a chat with DHS over what they're calling the improper use of one of their vehicles. So they want to, hey, okay, guys, you want to step up, raise your hand over at Penske? Okay, raise your hand. Excuse that momentary silence. I had to blow my nose. It wasn't pleasant. Anyway, we shall see how this plays out. Now, I have 12 pages of an article that details all of the executive orders. Some of them are really interesting. For instance, one of the orders is ordering for 401ks. It deals with some of it deals with finance. First of all, Donald Trump signed an executive order on debanking. And we had a soundbite about that yesterday. He talks about how he was debanked. But he also has one which basically wants restrictions on 401k investments to be widened so that people can take 401k investments
Excuse me.
and use them.
Sorry
Carlos,
for interrupting.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, you promised me a big ball story, and then we haven't. I haven't heard it yet. So, like, what are we doing here?
Okay, Carlos. Okay, you want the big balls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're doing here. Thank you, Carlos. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you know, and it's not funny, it's horrendous, that the Doge employee that became popularly known as Big Balls was attacked. And this was not a political attack. He was hit by a roving gang in Washington, D.C. Doubtful that they know who he is, doubtful that they really watch the news. And this has created quite a stir. We have two sound bites. Let's squeeze them in. Scott Jennings with the Abbey panel. That's cut 12, Carlos. And he commented on, but then we've got Donald Trump commenting on it too. Let's first listen to Scott Jennings on the Abbey panel.
I'm just going to tell you right now, the plight of American hero Big Balls has set off a firestorm in the Republican Party.
Why
This
do people
kid
laugh?
No, he
he goes out on the
just
street.
infiltrated all of our
He protects
information.
a woman from being attacked by a roving street gang, and he had the crap kicked out of him. And, you know, we had a congressional intern murdered not too long ago. I'm just telling you, Republicans right now have about had it with the violence and the idea that you can't even walk around D.C. right now without getting attacked by street gangs.
Don't we have laws on the books
I know.
already?
400 carjackings, they're not being enforced.
I serve.
Well, Donald Trump was asked about Big Balls and what's happening because what Donald Trump has said, well, just listen to what Donald Trump says. That's cut 13.
That had anything to do with it, but we've had very productive talks today. Yes, ma'am?
President Trump, on federalizing D.C., are you considering taking over the D.C. police? Is that an option on the table?
We're considering it, yeah, because the crime is ridiculous. I could show you a chart comparing D.C. to other locations, and you're not going to want to see what it looks like. It was just up on television, actually. They were showing it. Now, we want to have a great, safe capital, and we're going to have it. And that includes cleanliness and it includes other things. We have a capital that's very unsafe. You know, we just almost lost a young man, beautiful, handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him the night before last. And I'm going to call him now. We wanted to give him a little recovery time. We just put a call into him. They're calling back in a little while. But he went through a bad situation, to put it mildly, and there's too much of it. We're gonna do something about it. So whether you call it federalized or what, and that also includes the graffiti that you see, the papers all over the place, the roads that are in bad shape, the medians that are falling down, the median in between roads that's falling down. We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. And what a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of muggings, killings, and everything else, we're not going to let it. And that includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly, too.
And do you want Congress to look at overturning the D.C.
So, in response to this latest violence, Donald Trump thinking about, quote unquote, federalizing Washington, D.C., bring back some law, bring back some order, and bring back some beauty to the nation. Carlos, what is this?
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly here for Colonial Metals Group. China's leading the largest anti-American alliance since World War II, one that's already dumped U.S. bonds, grabbed 43 million acres of our farmland, and is plotting to dethrone the dollar. That's why IRA and 401k savers are protecting their savings with gold. Go to freegoldguide.com/Kelly or call 800-655-5186 for your free gold guide on how to protect your wealth with gold 100% tax-free.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
So, since we were interrupted with the big ball story, I was talking about the executive orders before then. One of the biggest executive orders ever. Donald Trump is demanding that the next census not include illegal immigrants. Stephen Miller was on with Hannity last night discussing the importance of it. Let's listen in.
Illinois, Chicago, New York, Massachusetts. Democrats have gerrymandered the vote beyond recognition to try to maintain their advantage in the House elections. On top of it, let's not forget, Democrats rigged the 2020 census by including illegal aliens. Remember, they sued Donald Trump. They sued the administration. They fought tooth and nail to include illegal aliens in the census. 20 to 30 of House Democrat seats wouldn't exist but for illegal aliens. Texas is taking just a small corrective step against this ocean of fraud, this ocean of abuse by the corrupt Democrat Party, Sean.
Now, 20 to 30 seats. Democrats would be down 20 to 30 seats. And we've been talking about this week, the way that they've packed illegal immigrants into these districts. We have a soundbite on that we played earlier this year. We're going to remind you of that. This is huge. This could change the balance of Congress as we know it. And this is why I said earlier in the week, Trump, yeah, Democrats don't like it.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
In our history, each year, nearly 1 million people come legally to America. Today, nearly 1 in 10 people in America was born in another country. 1 in 5 school children are from immigrant families. Today, largely because of immigration, there is no majority race in Hawaii or Houston or New York City. Within 5 years, there will be no majority race in our largest state, California. In a little more than 50 years, there will be no majority race in the United States. No other nation in history has gone through demographic change of this magnitude in so short a time.
That, of course, was Bill Clinton. The year was 1998. And did you hear the audience? He was in Portland speaking at the university, Portland State University, in June of 1998, declaring the change. And I've said this forever. Democrats used to proudly talk about this stuff. The browning of America, that white people would no longer be the majority. And did you hear the reaction when he said, 50 years, the United States won't have a majority of white folks, and everybody in the, yay, yay. And then when Republicans push against this, meaning try to stop illegal immigration, which is the vehicle to accomplish all of this, then they get accused of being racist. They get accused of this theory that they want to get rid of immigration because it's a threat to their political power. Instead, Democrats have been playing this long game They've been playing this for decades, folks. James Golden, Snerdley with you here. Now, Carlos, let us play that Stephen. We have so many sound bites. I almost hate to play one that you've already heard over again. But this is important, folks. Put this in context. Once again, cut one, Stephen Miller. Right behind Stephen Miller this time, we are going to play another cut that we featured on this show ages ago from a Brooklyn House of Representatives member, Yvette Clarke. And the two you will understand side by side. Cut one and cut two. Back to back.
Chicago,
Carlos.
New York, Massachusetts. Democrats have gerrymandered the vote beyond recognition to try to maintain their advantage in the House elections. On top of that, let's not forget, Democrats rigged the 2020 census by including illegal aliens. Remember, they sued Donald Trump. They sued the administration. They fought tooth and nail to include illegal aliens in the census. 20 to 30 of House Democrat seats wouldn't exist but for illegal aliens. Texas is taking just a small corrective step against this ocean of fraud, this ocean of abuse by the corrupt Democrat Party, Sean.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We have a diaspora that can absorb a significant number of these migrants. And when I hear colleagues talk about, the doors of the inn being closed, no room in the inn, I'm saying, I need more people in my district, but just for redistricting purposes. And those members could clearly fit here.
Bring me the illegal. I need more illegals in my district here. They could clearly fit here. Exactly what they're. And this is why Donald Trump's executive order is now next census. We are not counting illegals. Folks, this is going to be a big issue. It's obviously going to go to the Supreme Court. Earlier this week, Senator Slotkin, I guess she's trying to make a name for herself. She's always saying things outrageous these days. She told her audience, a live audience, that Donald Trump was he was a threat to democracy. Then she said, I wonder if we had. Can you search and see whether we have that Slotkin, Slotkin, from earlier this week, Senator Slotkin. And she was calling Donald Trump an existential threat. So if you have that, Carlos, let's play that right now, please.
The debate now among Democrats is, how do you answer the following question? Is Donald Trump an existential threat to democracy in his second term? Or is Donald Trump's second term bad, but like his first term, survivable if we just wait it out, right? And I just want you to know from your senator, as someone who sits in that room on your behalf, I am in camp number one. He is an existential threat to democracy.
Now, that's dangerous rhetoric. When someone is an existential threat to democracy, that is urging some of the kooks, let's just call it what it is. That is a whistle. They like to call things a dog whistle. That's a dog whistle to some of the kooks, and not the conspiracy kooks, to the truly lunatic among the TDS base to do something about the existential threat to democracy. She knows what she's saying. It's unconscionable that a United States senator would say such a thing. But I made the point. He's not a threat, an existential threat to democracy. He is an existential threat to Democrat power. And that is what all of this is about. They know how they have used illegal immigrants. It's a continuation of the Democrats, of the original Confederate Democrats and the current day Confederate Democrats. The old Confederate Democrats used black people primarily, although, there were some white indentured servants too, but they used black people primarily as their labor base, the slaves. The New Democrats haven't changed that much. They are using mostly Hispanic, not all, as their current labor force and source of political power. And they know it. And you're hearing that's why this Democrat in Brooklyn, hey, bring these illegals here. He is an existential threat to their power. You heard Stephen Miller, 20 to 30 seats in the House. Folks, that is the kind of advantage. If there was a 30-seat shift in the House, Democrats would be out of power for who knows how long, unless something tumultuous happens, scandals, so forth and so on. If you have the kind of incumbents rates that we have right now, that would make sure that Democrats are out of power, especially when it comes to appropriating money and their slush funds and everything else. He is a threat, an existential threat to the Democrat Party, not to democracy. And that's why they're going all out to fight him at every step. Now, let's just visit two mayors. Here's a news report out of Boston, cut 3, from 22 News in Boston. Let's just pay that a quick visit.
The Massachusetts GOP is criticizing Governor Maura Healey over a new report that shows shifting shelter costs to the state's home-based program. The program provides rental assistance to migrant families. According to the report, Massachusetts is on pace to spend $97 million on the home-based program in the current fiscal year. The state spent approximately $9.5 million on housing at-risk families. Massachusetts Republican Party Chair Amy Carnevale released a statement following the release of the report, saying in part, quote, "As much as Maura Healey would like the public to think that she's improving the system, the data tells a different story."
Now, Karen Bass in L.A. continues her rant. This is that you heard the mayor of East Coast and now the mayor of the left coast, Immigrant City.
In the past several weeks, we've seen the chaos and cruelty of immigration raids in this city. We have seen how they have impacted families. I am frankly worried about those families and if they're still hanging together, especially economically. And talking to families that have impacted, when one breadwinner, one wage earner is gone and disappears, to survive in our city economically, you need 2, 3, and 4 wage earners to keep housing, to keep food on the table, to keep clothes on your kids. When that is taken away from you, that just doesn't destabilize a family. That destabilizes a neighborhood, it destabilizes businesses, it destabilizes a community, but we are not going to allow this administration to destabilize our great city.
So just like in New York, complaining about the cost of living, who's been running L.A. and why is why does it take 3, 4, you heard it, 2, 3, 4 wage earners? And by the way, illegal wage earners, because that's what she's talking about. It's destabilized because the illegals are afraid to show up to work. And they need 2, 3, 4 to actually eke out a living in Los Angeles. It's a city the wealthy can just do fine, wealthy liberals, but the worker base, and you've heard this over and over again, not so. So all this ties in. The redistricting stuff ties in with the gerrymandering because of what Democrats have done. It all comes back to illegal immigration, and yet every time you bring it up, Texas State Senator, Representative Miles down there, what is the same argument? What is the same argument that they raise over and over again? Here's the argument.
Disenfranchising black and brown people is racist in all parts. For those of us watching this from out of state, just know, as Texas goes, the country's going to go. Texas may be the first to be redistrict, but your state is next. Finally, for those of you who are watching, yes, the Republicans have stacked the deck. And the passage of this map may happen. But I want all of you to know who are watching, they want you to be discouraged. They want you to be dismayed. They want to give you a reason to stay at home on election, but don't let them do it. This is my call to arms for you. Your vote is your weapon. I repeat, your vote is your weapon. Show them how you get down. And you know how you get down. Make sure that these maps don't give them what they want. Take yourself, take your neighbor, take your friend, take your parents, take their family, take them all to the voting box. Show them who we are. And let them understand that you are Texans. And Texans, we stand for something. Together, we keep the faith, we keep the fight, and together, we'll win.
We know how we get down. Show them how you get down. Well, let's get down. Let's get down, baby. We'll be back. Fastest hour in American media. James Golden, Bo Snerdley with you here. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I've got an entertainment-based question for you. A few weeks ago, Stephen Colbert announced that he was leaving his show. Howard Stern announced that him and Sirius XM Radio are parting ways. Do you think the hate Trump business model that's been in the entertainment business is going out of business because it's not popular with the American people?
Well, it hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked really for a long time, and I would say pretty much from the beginning. Colbert has no talent. I mean, I could take anybody here. I could go outside in the beautiful streets and pick up a couple of people that do just as well or better. They get higher ratings than he did. He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon. You know that. Howard Stern, it's a name I haven't heard. I used to do a show. We used to have fun. But I haven't heard that name in a long time. What happened? He got terminated?
Yeah, they're going to separate ways because I think what they're offering salary-wise is real low than what he's getting.
You know when he went down?
Whenever you want.
You know when he went down? No, before. When he endorsed Hillary Clinton, he lost his audience. Right. People said, give me a break. He went down when he endorsed Hillary Clinton.
Mr. President.
Wow. From the Oval Office hasn't been the Oral Office since Billy Blue Dress left. That we know of, I must say. In 1925, on this day, Felice Bryant was born. She's a songwriter. We love to highlight songwriters, producers here. She wrote the Everly Brothers hits, All I Have to Do Is Dream. Beautiful song. And she also wrote this one. I haven't heard this song in ages. Bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness. James Golden Snerdley with you here. Now, let's see. Coming up, here's what we didn't get to. I have one that we've been holding, Tim Scott on The View, but it runs about 3 minutes, and we just got to find the right place for it. If I can't get it in tomorrow, we're going to have to wait till Saturday. Also, because he lit Sonny Houston up with this victimhood mentality that they promote all over The View, and he really did an effective job. So that is one of the things that I love to play for you this week. Also, Tulsi Gabbard and these insane, PMS NBC is still insane with their coverage of now the grand jury that's out on the Obama-inspired Russiagate that we know now definitively came from the top, from the Oval Office. Scott Bessent on when the trade war, all this stuff with trade. Everyone's calling this the biggest reset. And he has another point to it. China was the big deal. Also, James Carville is out. Carville is urging Democrats to add new states. Add Washington, D.C., and add Puerto Rico as states if they win in 2028. Otherwise, he says their future is bleak. He also wants the Supreme Court to be packed, like many of them do. So with everything else going on, we've got those kind of things happening. Also, my friends, other fun stuff from social media. We just didn't have time because this, after all, is the fastest hour in American media. We got to go. So may God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your family, your loved ones. Love and gratitude always, my friends, for your being here with me and allowing me to be with you. God willing, we'll get together again tomorrow for the Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.